I have to make a goodie for a work thing. Here I am. I saw this recipe and I knew this is what it had to be. I'm back at it again with another half-baked harvest recipe. They're just so good. And this is for a brown butter cinnamon swirl Snickerdoodle Blondie. I think that's the name of it. Something along those lines. A mouthful, and hopefully a delicious mouthful at the end of this. Of course, I will leave the recipe linked down below so you can check it out. And I think we can get right into it because I'm very excited. I'm not gonna be eating these today, sadly, but I will be smelling them. And that's good. Before getting into the blondie part, we are gonna make this cinnamon swirl thing. This just takes an extra amount of time because I am putting this in the freezer just to harden up a little bit, so I wanna get it together before I start the blondie stuff. Brown sugar. The recipe calls for cinnamon, but I also added a little bit of some nutmeg, cloves, cardamom, just can't leave well enough alone, and some butter. Preferably room temperature. Mix it up. Oh no, I probably should have gotten a bigger bowl. Well, I feel like that was a disaster. What I'm gonna do is work the butter in by hand. And there you go, easy as that. I have a lined baking dish right here that I'm just going to kind of crumble this mixture on. Some big chunks, little chunks, nothing too crazy. Now I'm gonna pop this into my freezer for like 10 or so minutes or until these little clumps are hardened. Time for the blondies. My oven is preheating to 350 Fahrenheit and I am browning my butter, which is just a little simple process. I'm just melting it down. It's gonna start to get foamy and then you're gonna start to smell this really sweet, yummy smell, and your butter, where you see yellow right now, will be brown. And that's how you know it's done. Only takes a few minutes or so. Into a heat-proof bowl, your brown butter. Make sure you get all of the bits. Brown butter makes everything better. Next, I'm adding in the brown sugar. Recipe calls for apple butter or maple syrup. Don't have any apple butter, so maple syrup it is. The real stuff. Some vanilla extract. Incorporate this a little bit. My egg. Incorporate that in. In goes the flour, baking powder, some cinnamon. Going to grate some nutmeg in here. I'm just gonna add a little bit of cardamom, kosher salt, and now I'm going to carefully mix this together. I'm just gonna give it one last fold. Just make sure you incorporate all of the flour from the bottom. The recipe calls for chocolate chips. I don't know if I want to use chocolate chips. I'm not sure. I'll do a little chocolate chip action. I'd like it if I had mini chocolate chips, but beggars can't be choosers. And don't forget about our cinnamon crunchy knobs. We're gonna put like 3/4 of those in there. Fold everything in. I have a prepared 9x13 baking dish here, which I have lined with some parchment so that I can easily just yank it out. In goes my mixture. I'm just gonna work it into one even layer. It's as even as it's gonna get. I feel as though I'm nervous. This seems like too big of a pan, but I'm just following the recipe. This time I'm following a recipe. I think I'll put a couple more chocolate chips on the top here. The rest of my cinnamon little chunks, kind of press those a little bit in there. And then some cinnamon sugar. I just took some white sugar and some cinnamon and a little bit of nutmeg, and you're just gonna put it all over the top here. This is not a diet dessert. And of course, sprinkle with a little bit of sea salt. Blondies. I'm gonna pop these into my preheated oven for like 20 minutes to start. I'll check it then. 20-25 minutes depending on your oven. Just took these out of the oven. They look incredible and they smell even better. They're thinner than I would have thought they would have been, but I did see that feedback on the recipe comments, so it's all good. I probably just needed a little bit of a smaller pan. You can see on here those dark spots. They're not all chocolate chips. They are the cinnamon mixture that we made. These are going to cool completely before I pluck them out of this dish. I am, however, going to run a knife just carefully on the sides here, just to make sure nothing really sticks. Time to see if I can pop these out. Ooh. Yeah, they are definitely thinner than I think they should be, so they probably won't be as like thick and gooey on the inside, but I think regardless, they're gonna be a tasty little bite, so it's all good. Ooh, they cut like a dream. Now I'm going to fill my platter. Look how cute this is. It reminds me of Charlie Brown, which is one of my favorite Christmas specials ever. But I think I got this at Goodwill for like $1. Now I can just arrange nicely and I will be loved by all at work. Ooh, there's little nuggets left. I might as well. Yum. There we have it. Look at the sunlight just beaming upon these from the heavens above. These smell insane. I'm definitely going to be good and I'm going to wait, but you should try these. I don't have to, tell you they taste good to know that they taste good. Look at the insides of these things. It's just dense blondie goodness. I think that blondies are often very just forgotten. It's always about the brownie, but blondies have more fun and they're delicious. Make them and eat them up. Perfect for the holiday season. Enjoy.